Hey guys, it's Jessie and welcome back to my channel. Today is a Q&A video, so if you guys want to know the answers to the questions that some of you guys asked, then please stay tuned. Question number 1 is, what are you going to school for? I am currently going to school to become a nurse, and I feel at this point in my life it's the perfect time for me to finish my schooling because I have a better outlook on everything in my life, especially school. Ever since my son came into this world and just blessed me, my mind has expanded and I'm just more aware and more open to new opportunities, and schooling being one of them. I'm just more focused and I have a vision of where I want to be and who I want to be and the type of life that I want to be able to provide for my son. So I feel like schooling for me and getting my degree is just the priority right now, and I'm so happy. Question number 2 is, how did you know that your child's father was the one? For me, when two people come together and you're with each other for a long time, you just, you share the same dreams, you share the same passion, and you share this love that just makes you feel that this person is the one that you want to spend the rest of your life with. And when you're with somebody, you mold yourself around this person because you're no longer two people, you become one. And when I looked at Jameson, I knew that he was going to father my children and he was going to be the one that I was going to marry, and I knew that he would be the best father in this world because just seeing him with my side of the family as well as his side of the family and all the children that come with that, he was just so happy to be around them all the time, and they absolutely loved him. So for me, that's how I knew that Jameson was the one for me, because he had this love and this caring nature in his heart that just really made him such a special person, and that's how I knew he was the one. So the second part of question number 2 was, would you guys argue a lot? And likewise, when two people come together, it's two different people. You're two different people with two different minds, two different hearts, two different opinions, and when you put that together, you're bound to have some type of disagreement. So of course, Jameson and I did argue. We weren't the perfect couple, but at the end of every day, there was always an I love you, and we are always in love with each other at the end of every day, and we never fell out of love when we argued. I think it made us stronger and made us, in a sense, fall deeper in love because we understood each other from a different standpoint, and we saw each other's opinions and each other's decisions in a different light. And to me, that's what makes a strong couple. And if you don't argue, I mean, that's awesome, but really that's not that's not what a relationship is about, to be perfect. It's about figuring yourself out as well as figuring this other person out and putting yourselves together and really molding into one and just being a cohesive unit, and I would give anything to have even an argument with Jameson, because like I said, at the end of every day, it always ended with love, and that's something I really miss. Question number 3 is, who has been your biggest inspiration? For me personally, this is not a hard question at all. The people that have been the biggest inspiration in my life has been definitely my 2 wonderful and loving parents. They're awesome. Without my parents, I wouldn't be where I am today, really. And I mean, I know that's a generic saying, but I really wouldn't be where I am today without my parents. And they just give me so much support and so much love with my son, with my schooling, with my, my interests, and they just fully support me. They love me, and they love me even when it's hard to love me. And so when you guys watch this, Mom and Dad, I love you guys. I love you so much, and you guys are my rock.
Awesome.
Question number 4, something a little bit easier to answer. What is your ethnicity? I am Filipino, and that's it. Pretty plain and simple, but proud to be Filipino. Love the food, love the culture, love the people, and yeah, shout out to all my Filipinos out there. Okay, so question number 5. Would you ever let yourself fall in love again? Woo! Here comes the tears. So, this has been a question that has been brought to my attention a lot since the passing of Jameson, and I've thought about it, and it's only natural to think about things like this because, I'm only 21 years old, and there's a lot of life left in me, and I'm not opposed to the idea of falling in love again. And for me, I know that if and when somebody does come into my life and they treat me right, and most importantly, they treat my son right, then I know that God brought me this person, and that Jameson brought this person into my life because he knew that not only would this person take care of me, but also his son. And so would I ever let myself fall in love again? The answer, I guess, simply is yes. I would let myself fall in love again if the time is right, if the person is right, and my main concern is if this person accepts my son fully and completely with no, limitations, that, Jameson will always be Journey's dad. And I will always love Jameson no matter what. And if this person is the one for me, then, I should be able to talk about my feelings to the fullest extent. I should be able to talk about Jameson and my life with him, and talk about my son with this person. And, I will always be in love with Jameson, and he will always be the one for me and my soulmate. Yeah. Okay, so the next question number 6. How do you keep Jameson's legacy alive with your son? Since the day that Journey was born, and even while I was pregnant, I would constantly talk about Jameson to my son, and he's always known Jameson from the very beginning. I show him pictures. There's pictures all over our house, as you can see here, and he knows his daddy like the back of his hand. He can tell you daddy from the time Jameson was newborn to the time Jameson was 18 years old. He knows that that is his daddy. And I always talk about Jameson, and I tell Journey stories, and really, everybody who loves Jameson and comes in contact with Journey, they always tell Journey how much his dad loves him. And I know that somewhere beyond, Jameson is right next to his son, walking side by side, holding his hand, doing everything I'm doing with Journey, but from heaven. And so that's really how I keep Jameson's legacy alive with my son. And Jameson will always be here with us, and his legacy will always live on through everyone that loves him. Question number 7 is, what is your favorite vacation spot? Of course, we love Hawaii. We love going back home, and that will always be our home. We love going there to see Jameson's family and to be with them, and to have Journey run around shirtless, just like his daddy used to. And it's just awesome to really be there and see my son play in the sand and walk on the grass, because here in Vegas we only have rocks. But that is definitely one of our favorite vacation spots. And in this life, I hope to be able to travel the world with my son and take him all over to all my dream vacation spots. But you know, not living in Hawaii anymore has had its perks in the sense where we live in the mainland now, and it's awesome to be able to drive back and forth to California and, you know, see all the places where my parents grew up, and it's just really awesome. And one day I hope to travel and come up with a whole list of my favorite vacation spots. But Hawaii is definitely and will always be number one. Question number 8 is, how did you get through your pregnancy with Journey and deal with the loss of Jameson? And to answer that simply, you know, day by day. And I just knew every day that this pregnancy was greater than me, and I had somebody else that I needed to take care of too. And I wasn't, you know, neglecting my own well-being, but at the same time I knew that, you know, I have this piece of Jameson growing inside of me that one day soon I'll meet. And you know, we made this beautiful baby together. I made this human in my body with the love of my life. And so I just, you know, I stayed strong, and I just made sure that I always prayed and asked God for guidance and for him to show me, you know, my path. Where am I supposed to be in life? Why did you put me here? And, you know, help me figure this out. And so I just really stuck to my foundation, and that's just praying, keeping God alive in my heart, keeping my faith strong, and just knowing that soon my pregnancy will be over. I'll finally meet the first love of my life, and Jameson would want me to do this for our son. He would want me to be strong, and thinking like that and having that mindset kept me strong up here. It kept me strong here, and it just allowed me to take that strength and pull forward, you know, push that strength outward, share it with other people, share my story with other people. And that really as well helped me get through each day, was by sharing a piece of my story with the world, sharing Jameson with the world. And now I get to share my son with the world, and Jameson's son, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And till this day, you know, even though I'm not pregnant anymore, I still have to remember, you know, this is bigger than me. This path that I'm on, it's greater than anything I could have ever imagined my life to become. And really, that's how I get through each day, and that's how I get through this. And you know, it's just a battle, and you just got to keep going, and just know tomorrow the sun's gonna shine, tonight the moon's gonna come out, and you know, I'm surrounded by love, I'm surrounded by support, so I have no reason to not be walking tall and standing strong. So for everyone out there who needs some motivation and some encouragement and some strength, you know, just remember God, and remember that there is always a tomorrow, and you are on the path you're on for a reason. And even though we don't understand that reason, and we may never understand that reason, there's a reason. And that's how I get through. So there is a part 2 to question number 8, and it is, what are your biggest challenges you face as a single parent? And for me personally, I guess being a single parent, that biggest challenge and the most obvious challenge is not having that significant other playing a role in your relationship with your child. And I mean, I do have my parents, and I have my awesome sister, and I have Jameson's family as well. But you know, no one will ever be able to fill the shoes of Jameson, and just having that significant other and your partner be right next to you through this journey and through this path in life with our son. And so I guess that would be the biggest challenge that I face. But you know, like I said, Jameson is up there in heaven, walking side by side with Journey here on earth, and he's doing everything that I do with Journey, just in a different way. And Journey knows that, and he knows that mommy's here physically and daddy's, you know, around him spiritually, and that makes being a single parent here on earth a lot easier and just a lot more understandable and manageable, really. But I know that, you know, in the future I will face a lot of challenges being a single mom, but I'm strong and I'm ready to take on those challenges because my son's the most important thing. He's number one, and you know, that's always how you have to think, is your children are number one. And with that mindset, you can get through anything. And to all the single moms and even single dads out there, you guys rock, and we can do this. Question number 9 is, how did you learn to do your makeup? So I've actually been interested in makeup for a long time now, and actually for Jameson's junior prom, I did my own makeup, and I thought it was fire, but it wasn't. You look back at pictures of yourself when you used to do your makeup and think it was awesome, and then you look at yourself now and you're like, wow, you know, how come I didn't do my makeup like this a couple years ago? And you know, the answer to that is, it's all a learning process. You pick up one thing and you figure out that's not something that you want to continue to do, so you drop it off and you pick up some new techniques and tricks. And really how I learned to do makeup was, I watched a lot of YouTube videos, I followed my favorite makeup artists on Instagram, and just figured out, you know, the types of products they use and the types of tricks and, you know, techniques that they use. But you know, when I first started, I used all drugstore brands. Nothing was from MAC or Sephora, nothing was high-end at all. But you know, that's how I learned, and that's how I learned the technique of blending or how to do contour and highlight. And it's just, you know, you need the simple things first. Start simple, and then, you know, you gradually grow your way up and just figure out how to do things better. And that comes with practice. So if you want to be better at makeup and you want to, you know, learn how to do makeup like all these great makeup artists out there, it all starts with practice and time and having a passion in doing what you're doing. So, oh, and also, I started trying to do my own makeup a couple years ago, or, you know, when Jameson was a junior, because I didn't want to pay to get my makeup done, because every time that I went to, you know, like MAC or Sephora to get my makeup done for prom, I was never like, oh my god, I look awesome, this is just the look I wanted. So I figured if I learn how to do it myself, I can give myself the look that I want. And yeah, that's kind of my little background on my makeup interest, and I do have a passion for it, so that also really, really helps. So keep doing what you're doing, you makeup lovers out there. Okay guys, so the last question for this Q&A is question number 10. How did you and Jameson meet? We met in 2012 at Radford High School. I was a senior and Jameson was a sophomore, and we played on the same football team, the Radford Rams, and we met in spring ball, so the training before the fall football season. And Jameson would always say hi to me, you know, like I'm the only girl on the team, and Jameson was, you know, goofy and always silly, joking around, and so he would say hi to me. And one day he said hi to me in the hallway in passing, and he was like, hey Jessie, you know, like really excited. And I just said hi because I was being friendly, and then I kept walking and I was like, who was that? And then that afternoon at spring ball practice, I was like, oh, it was Jameson, because I totally didn't even recognize him in the hallway. And a funny story, we went to Oregon that year for football, and obviously I was in the room with the two female managers, and you know, all the boys were in their rooms, but I was allowed to hang out with all the guys. And so I was in Jameson's room one night, and you know, all the guys and myself were talking and just having a good time, and my attention was with everybody. You know, I wasn't paying attention to one single guy. We were just all friends. And Jameson would literally lock himself in the hotel bathroom with his tablet and play his music super loud because he was mad that I wasn't giving him the right amount of attention, or a little bit more attention than the other guys. And every time I'd leave their room, he would follow me to my room, and I'd close the door super quick, lock it, and I would come out, and Jameson was sitting down against a wall every time waiting for me to come out, because he just wanted to hang out. You know, he wanted to get to know me better. And from there, you know, I didn't think that I could like Jameson or even fall in love with him, but I'm so glad that I gave that sophomore a chance, because he changed my life forever. And I'm so grateful that God placed him in my life during the time that he did, because I really needed somebody like Jameson. I really needed that love that Jameson gave to me every single day. And it's funny the way we met and the way everything fell into place, but it did, you know. And that's the greatest part of our love story, is that it wasn't ideal. It never was, but that's what makes it cool. And yeah, so that's how me and Jameson met. And sometimes, you know, I think back and I wish I met him sooner, and I wish I met him and fell in love with him earlier, because, you know, I didn't know that our time together would be cut short. And I just wish I could have loved him longer and been with him longer and just enjoyed this life together longer. So, you know, appreciate the people you have in your life, even if things weren't ideal, if they're still not ideal. They're with you and you're with them because of, you know, this thing called love. And, you know, just love the people who are in your life, because, you know, boom, anything can happen tomorrow, and, you know, tomorrow's never promised. So yeah. All right, guys, that is it for this Q&A. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you all for the questions. I really had fun with this one. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Instagram, Jessie X Jameson, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Ow. Ow. I just tripped over the tripod. Journey, help mommy.